Repurposing content and being on a whole lot of different platforms that all have different purposes is a lot of work. In fact, it's basically too much work for anyone to effectively continue doing all by hand forever. So the key to making this work and being able to make it a sustainable part of your business is to take as much of it as possible out of your own hands. Now, I don't necessarily mean outsourcing, although if outsourcing is a thing that you can do, or if you've got a team standing by to help, you can absolutely and should absolutely do that. But what I mean, especially for kind of the solopreneur, someone who's just getting started working on their own, I mean tracking, proceduralizing, and automating. Now that is a whole giant topic all by itself. If you want a great resource on how to do some of this, check out Less Doing, More Living. It's a wonderful book. I'll link to it in the comments below, and I can't recommend it enough in terms of helping you think about how to track, proceduralize, and automate your life. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you a couple of ways to go about this so that you can start taking a little bit of the brain keeping track of everything work out of your mind and make sure that you've always got the resources that you need on hand when you need them. So the first one is directly related to having those resources on hand. It is really a good idea to keep a spreadsheet of all of your links. The way I like to set that up is to have my general idea or the concept for the different pieces of content I create for it, and then individual links for each type of content that I've created. This makes it really easy if I ever need to share on social media or reply to an email. I can just go into my spreadsheet, pull the appropriate link in the appropriate platform, and get it right to the person who needs it or promote it on my own streams. Super handy thing to have if you've got if you've taken the time to do that. It's really, really useful. Start it as soon as possible. If you've got a lot of content already, that might be a great thing to outsource to someone else, just compiling all of those lists together so you've got them in one place. Second, document your processes. This is a step that a lot of people step, and it's understandable. Documenting takes a lot of time. Doing it well, really nailing down every single step in one of your processes is a tedious, time-consuming chore. But it's really, really, really helpful. If you ever want to outsource to an assistant or your team grows and you want to hand it off to someone else, having really good procedures is absolutely fantastic. And procedures are also great to make sure that you don't miss a step. If you're like me, sometimes you get so caught up in all of the different things that you do, you forget some of the things that you want to be doing to promote your content. So if you've got a great procedure, a great checklist for the things that need to happen with each piece of content, you're going to be kind of taking the remembering everything job off your shoulders. It goes out of your brain onto the document. Cannot recommend it enough. I'm recommending everything today, by the way. Next, it's handy as you're thinking about scaling and growing to just keep a running list of the people that you'd like to connect with. Follow them, consume their content, get to know them a little bit, engage in their online spaces as well. This isn't sneaky or anything, you're not really online stalking. What you're doing here is keeping up to date on the industry and getting a good sense of the people working in your industry who you'd like to connect with, how they think, what they value, what their stances are, and that provides the beginning of a really good relationship when you do eventually connect with them and start working with them. And finally, once you've got your procedures pretty much nailed down and you've got a really good workflow going for your content and the different things that you generate, you can use tools like Zapier and If This Then That to minimize the amount you actually have to manually do all of the steps. You don't want to set this up right away. It's good to do everything manually initially so that you can really see what works and what doesn't. But once you're firm in your processes and your workflow is solid and it's rolling really well, that's when you can go in and look at it and see what you want to be handing off to the robots of the internet. I hope this was useful to you. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below, and if you like this video, please subscribe and share.